and welcome back to Emkin Gardening. Today is a very exciting day because our Johnny seed order came in for this year. Very excited. We talked about Johnny seeds a lot this past growing season. We did carrots and cucumbers from them. We've done a ton of stuff from them before in the past as well, prior to starting videos. We absolutely love this company. They are non-GMO, they do a lot of organic and heirloom varieties, and they offer a lot of variety on their website. So everything from vegetables to fruits. They do a ton of flowers, and they organize it in such a wonderful way that is super user-friendly. So they break it down into like cut flowers or specific varieties for direct sowing, and it's very, very unique in how they structure their website. I really suggest you check it out. We're going to link them down below. But they also have, they have their tools that they have on there. They do a lot of farming applications as well. Just a very versatile site. They have a lot of education resources as well, which is why I was drawn to them in the first place. One of the things I have mentioned in past videos is that their seed packets are not the grandest. You can't really tell there is the name obviously, but there isn't like a picture of the fruit or vegetable or flower when you order them on their seed packets. It's very kind of plain and mainstream. However, if you flip it over on the back, Johnny's provides such detailed growing information on here, way more in-depth than any seed packet that you will ever find that has the fancy pictures on the front. You know what it looks like because you ordered it online, right? So this is more important to me because if you follow this, you will be successful in what you're doing. It goes into a lot of detail and very specific and unique directions sometimes as well. It'll specifically say for certain types of flowers, for example, I have some here that they need to be in complete darkness in order to germinate. So it'll tell you exactly when to plant, how deep, like normal. However, it goes a little bit further and says you need to cover them for this amount of time exactly, and then once they're germinated, you can thin them when they have this specific amount of leaves. So it's very very detailed, but if you follow the directions, you will be successful in what you're planting. So like I said, we did do 2 different varieties of vegetables this past year, and of course I never took pictures of them, but we planted the Sugar Snacks carrots, and they were like super long and thin and very sweet. And then we also did the Diva slicing cucumbers, and they were just super cute and like jam-packed of flavor and not a lot of like pulpy stuff in the middle. So when you cut it, you had mostly like that flesh, which was really yummy. So those were the 2 varieties that we planted last year. I did order 4 vegetables and 4 flowers for this coming year. So let's start with flowers first because it's frigid temperatures here right now in Massachusetts, and so I think looking at some flowers will kind of prepare my heart for spring coming up. Here we go. Alright, so up first is a Nigella seed. This one is called Love in a Mist. In this pack it has blue, mauve, pinks, purples, and whites, and I really like the foliage on this one. It's kind of like lacy and feathery, very whimsical and ethereal, which I absolutely love. I love contrast like that next to really bold leaf things. So this blend of colors and textures of blooms I think is absolutely beautiful, and it's going to look really good in the garden. Nigella is also grown for its seed pods. If you let the plant go a little bit longer, it'll dry into seed pods, and they're very popular in arrangements, and that's another reason why I wanted to try out the Nigella this year, is because I wanted to try those dried seed pods for arrangements. You can direct sow Nigella seeds as well, and all of the flower seeds that I chose for this year are direct sowing. I kind of wanted to kind of try that out in containers and in the landscape, just completely not dealing with the transplanting part for right now and just picking varieties that you can direct sow. This also has a pretty short growing cycle for maturity. So it is only going to take 65 to 70 days to make all of those beautiful blooms appear and have max maturity. And then if you wait an additional 10 to 15 days, you'll get the seed pods that you can use for arranging. You know me, I love a plant that can do double duty, and so you will get beautiful blooms with that awesome texture of foliage, and then if you let it go a little bit longer, you can have those wonderful seed pods to use as well. All of these flower seeds that I chose for this year can be planted in the early spring. Once the soil temps have kind of warmed up just a little bit, they can handle a little bit of frost, so light frost. So kind of early-ish spring is a great time to plant these ones as well. Next up, we have a nasturtium mix called Kaleidoscope. I really liked these bright, vibrant colors from this nasturtium. These are also bicolors, so they have like the main one in the petals, but also in the center of the bloom, it is a different color. So I thought that that was very interesting. The Kaleidoscope nasturtiums have a red, a rose, yellow, orange, and a cream kind of mixture. Again, that kind of bicolor happening. Nasturtiums have a climbing and trailing habit, so these would be great in containers. A lot of the times you use them in containers. And of course, nasturtiums are edible, so you can use these in different applications for your culinary needs as well. These have a very short cycle of growing to get to maturity, only like 55 to 65 days to mature, which is fantastic. We love a short growing season for a beautiful mix of flowers. As I said, Johnny's Seeds gives a wealth of information, and this nasturtium mix is a perfect example of that. So in these directions, it recommends direct seeding. It also recommends planting 2 weeks before the last frost, very kind of cold, hardy, and you do want to cover these ones up because they require no light in order for germination. So they have to be in complete darkness and 2 weeks before the last frost. So for us, that's going to be in April. And when these mature, they're going to want a sun to part shade light requirements. I forgot to mention the Nigella wants a sun, full sun. And if we're not going to put the kaleidoscopes in containers for that type of spiller application, you will want to make sure that these get trellised because again, they're climbing and trailing. So they're gonna kind of spread their little wings and fly around your bed if they're not encouraged to grow somewhere or spill over something. So I'm really excited about this mix. I think it's beautiful and like summery, and I think it's going to add a lot of interest. Our third flower is a larkspur. It is a mix called the Formula Mix. I was really drawn to the colors within this mix, but for this larkspur, they're going to have really strong spires that have double blooms and sometimes single blooms on them. But the colors are what really drew me in. This blend will come with a carmine, a dark blue, a light pink, a lilac, a rose, and a white. This one will take about 80 to 90 days to reach maturity once direct sown. Again, recommended to direct sow. This one is interesting though, is it will not germinate if the soil is above 55 degrees. So I have to plant this in early spring as well in order to reach germination, because once those soil temps warm up even to 60 degrees, it's not going to germinate. So when I organize my seeds, when I'm planning on planting, I'm going to put this one, the larkspur, with the nasturtium, because these two want that really cool weather before the last frost type of weather going on. So I'm going to make sure I plant these ones at the same time and probably push the Nigella a couple weeks after to make sure that the soil temps are around 60 or above. The larkspur, once they are mature, are going to reach around 3 to 4 feet, and they will also want a full sun location. I'm always drawn to flowers like larkspur, delphiniums, foxgloves, those types of flowers and blooms. So I'm excited to try this one with direct seeding and get the beautiful blend of colors as we go. Our last flower is a zinnia seed. This is a Benaries giant mix. I hope I'm saying that right, Benaries. It's a giant zinnia flower. The blooms get around 6 inches across, which is really giant zinnia. These ones are recommended to be transplanted and not direct sown. You can direct seed them, but it's not the recommended way of planting from Johnny. So I am going to direct seed them and see what happens. We'll find out. The heights are going to be very different because it is a blend, and they will want a full sun. All zinnias want a full sun. But this giant mix pack is going to have a slew of wonderful colors, including deep red, orange, a carmine rose, coral, lime, wine, purple, bright pink, white, salmon rose, scarlet, and golden yellow. I think it would be wonderful to have the job of identifying and labeling different colors of blooms. I feel like those names were very creative and very appealing in a marketing standpoint to attract clients to want to buy the product. Good job. This is going to have a 70 to 90 day maturity for those summer blooms. And of course, zinnias are cut and come again, so they're going to be continuously blooming all through summer. Perfect for arranging. And I'm excited to have just kind of a larger bloom size with these ones than you typically can get just buying them from your nursery. We still are going to buy some zinnias from our nursery. We're very big fans of the State Fair mix that you can typically find, but I'm excited to try out maybe a kind of larger bloom size to give that a go. Moving on to vegetables, I really want to try corn. My mother is an expert corn grower. I don't know how she does it, she's just fantastic. So I want to give it my go on growing corn. So this corn is called Natural Sweet, so it is a sweet corn. It's going to get around 8 inches long, the cob is. But the stalks and the husks are really strong and you can snap it really easily. It's going to be around a 74-day maturity cycle, and there is a lot of information, very specific information on growing this corn. So I'm not quite sure where we're going to grow it yet, but we're going to figure it out because I really want corn. I'm going to follow these directions as best as I can. They're very specific, but I'm not going to try to get into it right now. On the website you can check it out as well from reading it, but I want to give it a go. I really want some corn. So that is our natural sweet corn that we are going to try this year. We do have leftover sugar snacks, carrots, and Diva slicing cucumbers that we will replant again this year. The seeds will most likely be okay because it's only the second year that we're going to be planting them. So we will have those for carrots and cucumbers. But the next 3 vegetables, I'm actually going to use with my kids this year. So I have 2 pumpkins, 2 like mini baby pumpkins, and some gourds. So this is a gourd mix, and it's called the Harrowsmith Select. What drew me to this particular blend of gourds is that it was developed by a man named Jim Harvey from Massachusetts, which is where we are. So I instantly was like, oh, great teaching moment for the kids. So these are very popular gourd mixes that you would typically buy in the fall. But I thought it would be a wonderful experience for the kids to grow gourds and some mini pumpkins for decorating, and then they can just decorate on their own sometimes, and we can use some of them in our house for decorations in the fall as well. So this mix has some warty pears, dumplings, patty pans, cheeses, and a variety of other shapes. They also have like different ranges of colors in them as well. They have a 95-day maturity, so we will be planting these and allowing them to grow over the summer. So unfortunately, this group's kids will be doing the planting, and then next year's students will be doing the harvesting and decorating. It's kind of a pay it forward type of moment for the kids as well. Again, just a lot of information on the back. I'm not going to go into it because it's very detailed. Just know that we are going to be planting these in the later spring, early summer time for a fall harvest. The next two are some mini pumpkins. These are ideal for kiddos. So the first one is the Casperita. This is a white pumpkin. It holds on to its color really well. It is a mini, and it has a very strong stem, which is wonderful because it's going to be handled a lot by children. But it yields high amounts, so that's perfect for a classroom, and it takes about 77 days to reach full maturity. Kind of the same thing with the gourds. We're going to be starting this group of kids will start it, and then the next group will harvest these. But the Casperita is just a super cute mini pumpkin that the kids are going to love to decorate or paint, and then we can use them some as well in our home for decorating. The second pumpkin is called Jill Be Little. I'm sure you've heard of Jack Be Little, which is again another mini orange pumpkin. This is a Jill Be Little, and it's known for being a little bit more flat, like disc shaped, than the Jack Be Little. Again, really high yielding in the amounts. Perfect for decorating and displaying for holidays in the fall, which I'm really looking forward to. Both of these varieties are pretty resistant to mildew, which is wonderful. And the Jill Be Little is going to take 100 days to reach full maturity. Again, really high yielding, so it's going to take a little bit more time. So we will be starting this one a little earlier, probably in the later spring to get that fall harvest. All of these seeds that Johnny's Seeds send out are super fast with their shipping, but there is a bonus thing that I did order that is not in packaged seed forms, and it's actually seed potatoes. So what we've always done in the past is, when your potatoes, you let them sit for a little bit too long and they have their eyes start sprouting, you can absolutely use those for planting, kind of a similar way that you would use seed potatoes. However, a lot of the potatoes in the grocery store are not developed to be seed potatoes. They're developed specifically to eat, and they might not have as much rigor as a seed potato would give to produce more potatoes. So I ordered Yukon Gold seed potatoes, and I'm so excited. These potatoes have that yellow flesh, that super delicious taste, nice and big and plump. Very excited for these to come in. They're going to be shipped separately from the seed packets, obviously, because they would require a little bit different packaging situation going on. But these would be early mid-season potatoes, so really excited, and especially because we're probably going to be planting them in those grow bags that we love and rave about, with the wonderful airflow quality that happens with them. So I think the potatoes will absolutely love it. And there's so much more information on the website, as well as, I'm assuming, on the packaging that the seed potatoes will come in, that will make sure that we are very successful in our planting of potatoes for this year. And that is our Johnny Seed order for 2023. We're really excited to have these flowers that we can direct sow into our garden space this year. We love all of the colors and the different varieties that we kind of chose for this growing season. I'm also really excited to grow corn, and specifically seed potatoes, as well as have the opportunity to grow some really fun things, high yielding things for the kiddos this year. We do a lot of growing at Roots, so they get a lot of experience with planting, but I think having a vine crop that specifically is bred to make a high yield of produce is really great for kids to see too. Again, we're going to link Johnny Seeds' website down below. Please check them out. They are amazing at the amount of detailed growing information that they provide. It's really top-notch. Like, you're not going to get more specific growing information on any type of packet. And if you follow it, you will be successful in growing. So we are going to link them down below. Check them out. It's not too late to order seeds, although I will suggest ordering sooner rather than later, as this kind of winter season is typically when a lot of these orders are getting done. So if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to Empkin Gardening. We absolutely love Johnny's seeds and we know you will too. We hope you're having a wonderful Saturday and that you're staying warm wherever you are. We will see you in the next video. Bye.